Welcome to the Unhelpful Parenting Podcast, where we are having a great laugh this week.
We're looking at all things Toy Story, Easter eggs, funny parent confessionals, parenting fails, and a 10-year-old on a joyride. So stick around.
Excuse me. And the boy told him that he was a dwarf and had forgotten his driver's license. The movie was saved by a working mum. You're so mean to me.
All right, I'm kicking this one off with a bang before you can get in and interrupt me with a fact.
Oh, fun fact. I like fun facts.
Random facts.
I usually start with random facts.
Yeah. Anyway, did you know they say that during sex you can burn off as many calories as running 12 kilometers?
Really?
I just want to know who's running 12 kilometers in 30 seconds.
No.
Yeah, I lied.
Oh, no,
It's not
you
random
lied.
facts.
It's not random facts. They're masquerading as the dad jokes, masquerading as random facts.
Yeah, what'd the elephant say to the naked man?
What?
How the hell did you breathe out of that thing?
This serves me right for not letting you have dad jokes.
Yet, I'm going to put him in myself. No, actually, though. Now I have some dad jokes. The others were just bangers. Did you hear about the guy who's afraid of escalators?
No.
It's all right. He's taking the right steps to avoid them. Last one. I was looking at baseball and I was wondering why it was getting closer and closer. And then it hit me.
No. If you're still listening, please don't leave. That's the end of them.
That's the end. Get on with your
Although I will
highs and
say
lows.
every time we vote on whether you get to keep your dad jokes or not,
People vote.
that I feel like the dads overvote the mums in
It
that.
is not, which is interesting because we have many more female listeners. Sorry, but and it's not just me going around on all my different accounts and saying yes.
You just dumped yourself in. I didn't even think of that.
You can look at the polls. You know, it's not the results.
I don't have time to go that deep into
It's
it.
not actually me.
Anyway, yays and nays like we start every week. Mine is more like a double nay because it's been that kind of week. One thing I never expected.
Double negative makes a positive.
Oh, look at us go. I'm so positive today. One thing I never expected about becoming a parent and even pregnancy itself was that your feet get bigger. The other thing they don't tell you is that they don't go back to their original size.
Sounds like a lot of things after pregnancy.
Excuse me. Excuse me. I don't appreciate that. You're so mean to me. Anyway, I'm gonna wee myself. Another thing that is
Just add that to the list.
add that to the list of things that change once you have a baby. But no, I'm pulling out all my like heels and shoes that I haven't worn since having babies, and they don't fit anymore because they're too small. And like I knew my feet would swell up while I was pregnant, but I thought they would go back. But apparently they just stay bigger, and now I have to. Like, so sad. I have to go buy all new shoes, but actually sadder because I'm not a big fan of shopping. So you're so mean to me.
It just made me think of another joke.
Oh, no. As if that wasn't enough.
What did one saggy boob say to the other?
What?
If we don't get some support soon, people are going to think we're nuts.
You're so mean.
I'm running on very little
I
sleep.
gave you 3 babies and you give me that.
I'm running on very little sleep.
Anyway, I'm going to move on to the next one.
Well,
because
the next one I can also... I'm pretty sure I've actually brought this up before and you told me that I'm stupid, so I want to hear this.
No, my thing is, once you've got more than one child, it's really hard to remember their birthdays. Pre-kids and after having my first kid, I was convinced that parents that couldn't remember their kids' birthdays were just terrible parents and just didn't.
I can't even remember their names. I call them like half the time I'm calling one the other and I'm like, oh, freaking And then I'm getting angry and they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, not you. The other one.
I was only at the doctor's yesterday with Kit and I was standing there and they asked me for his date of birth and I'm like, I had to think very carefully about each number and then I still got the year wrong and they were like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, they looked at me and then I was like, no, I'm not sure. Please tell me what year my son's birthday is.
I know. I used one for a suitcase pin.
Now we don't know the suitcase pin.
Thankfully now I've done it enough because I've travelled enough with said suitcase, but I didn't use that suitcase for a while. And then I forgot. Anyway.
It's especially hard for us because our kids, like their numbers are all quite closely, like they're similar numbers, which just makes it even harder.
It's frustrating. And then they all tie in together, even yours and McKenna's. All blends in my head.
I'm surprised you struggle with it actually because you're really good with numbers. Like Sam's the sort of person who knows his driver's license off the top of his head. Like I wouldn't even know what mine starts with. So I'm surprised that you struggle, but I'm not surprised that I struggle.
I don't use it enough.
I'm not surprised. You use your driver's license more than you use your child's birthday.
Yeah. The amount of freaking forms I have to fill out and do crap.
True. I do most of the doctor's appointments.
Freaking government. Anyway, my yay nay thingy memory story is cross country. I forgot what cross country was like, considering it's been 16 years this year since we did cross country.
Good riddance.
Holy hell. But I'm glad we are not doing that ever again. You can shove that. But watching 6-year-olds run cross country is quite entertaining. Because what I noticed is there's about maybe 2 kids in every grade, in every whatever, that are like, I'm going to freaking nail this. I'm born to run. And nail it. And they come first and second. Everyone else, it's a social outing. And it's like, I don't know if just the majority of the kids have some ADHD and it's like they like run, and then they go, oh, trees, oh, flowers, oh. And they start talking to each other. And then they go, oh, wait, it's a race. And then they run and then they walk past someone else and they're like, hey, what's up? And then they stop and talk and hang. And then they hold hands. They're like, oh, let's run together. It's just a whole thing.
It was so frustrating to me as a competitive parent, just being like, run, stop talking to your friends and run.
I was just sitting there going, look, I'm pretty sure you could nail this and get on the podium, but
oh my gosh,
you're too busy talking to your friends.
We've heard from our PE teachers and from other parents, like the boys like playing games with Mackenzie because she runs fast. Like that's the story we get told is no one can catch her when they play Tiggy. And so I was there going to this
event. Do you know why? It's like, short stints.
Yeah.
She can't do longevity. There's no endurance.
She came almost last, but you could watch her. She'd run and start overtaking everyone and then she'd stop and want to talk to everyone and she'd come back. It was so cute and I love her so much for it. But also the competitive nature in me was like, just run, damn it.
Bex just wants her to win because she's at a bigger school where there's more than 3 kids running at one point in time.
Yes, we were reminiscing while we were there that I grew up in a very small school, so it was very easy to come first in things. And so I would win something and then go to like districts or regionals and then come dead last. Because
she was that kid.
I was kid. Inflated ego, humbling moments.
Number 1 in cross country. Oh, do you know, I was saying to my parents, right? I was like, after 3rd, there's no point in trying.
Who's the competitive one now?
No.
If you're not going to come at least 3rd, you might as well give up.
No. Because 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, there's a prize.
Yeah.
Whether it's a trophy or whatever it is. After that, it's just a freaking participation ribbon. And why am I going to go and sweat my guts out?
To do your best?
No.
And because then you still beat however many other people?
I got nothing to show for it but a bloody participation ribbon. But enough of that crap. Let's get on to confessionals.
I am feeling the love. My daughter asked me when I was going to die so she could go and live with her brother's stepmom. When I told her not anytime soon, she looked genuinely heartbroken. Ouch.
That's That's rough on so many
That's
levels.
a hurtful one. Oh my gosh.
Especially when it's a stepmom and that's
Yeah, when you become a mum, you think birth is the thing that's going to hurt the most. But then they go and say stuff like that and wish you dead.
Someone choosing
The
someone
stepmom.
else. Yeah.
Gosh, that must hurt. Oh, and kids are so hilarious too, because I bet, like, of course, if they understood what that meant, they wouldn't mean it, but.
So rough.
That's rough. I love kids.
All right. I'm a grandparent now, but when my daughter was 6, she was extremely stubborn and didn't want to eat her dinner. It was seafood night, and I told her she had to try one prawn before finishing. Oh, I love prawns. She put it in her mouth, got ready for bed, and we said goodnight. Woke up the next morning only to find she still had the prawn in her mouth. She had held it in there all night, refusing to chew or swallow it. Thankfully, she didn't choke.
Ew. I don't know whether to be impressed at the level of stubborn.
That'd be really bad morning breath.
Would you get food poisoning from that?
Obviously not.
Like if you ate seafood that sat out all night, you'd get food poisoning. And it more or less sat out all night.
Prawns are a bit hit and miss. Like, yeah, I get it, but prawns are a bit hit and miss. For some reason, they don't seem to be as bad as seafood. I don't know.
Ew. Ew. Oh, and
I just love prawns. Now I want prawns.
You're just distracted by the prawns.
Yeah, I just want a prawn.
You're hungry. We're
prawns.
recording this while Sam is hungry, so
I'm hungry.
Just be careful. We may be getting a lot of food references. All right, one more. I have a newborn. This week I was so tired. I picked up the block of cheese in the kitchen and tried to wash my hands with it before realizing it wasn't soap. Ew.
I love cheese.
No.
Yeah.
Speaking of
I
food
don't
references.
like the smell of cheese, but I like
yes,
cheese.
the cheesy smell here. Ugh. Ugh.
Nothing worse than cheese when it's been sitting out and it gets the sweats. And it's a little bit oily. And then it just smells.
That's one of Sam's pet peeves is when I give the kids little bits of cheese because they go on the carpet.
Little bits of cheese. It's called grated cheese. And the argument's going to be, they eat some of it. And I'm like, yeah.
They do.
10% of it. There's 90% ends up all over the house.
Oh, it's worth it because.
And then what does our vacuum cleaner smell like?
Yeah, gross cheese. I will give you that the vacuum cleaner is gross, but the kids are so
like
hard to feed. They especially the 18-month-old. You can't just tell him he has to eat it. Don't get to decide that at this age. So if he will eat some of it, I will give it to him.
Give him some of it. Not all of it.
Anyway, we have parents in the news for you. And I bring you bad news.
Oh, no.
Bad news for us parents. Skibidi Toilet is here to stay a little longer. If you, like us, were hoping that Skibidi Toilet was about to phase out and become a thing of the past, then guess again and take it up with Scholastic, who have now signed a deal with Skibidi Toilet to develop novels and graphic novels and more. And this follows the news that Michael Bay has signed on to direct and develop a movie and TV franchise based on the viral videos and memes.
You're all dead to me.
Skibidi Toilet began in February 2023 as a comedy short by Alexei Gerasimov on his YouTube channel Da Fuck Boom, where a war breaks out between toilets and human heads and human-like characters that have electronic devices instead of heads. And if you are a parent of a primary school child, you have probably looked this up to understand what on earth your child is speaking of. If you have younger children, then it's coming because obviously with all of this franchise on its way, we hoped we'd miss it and Mackenzie still ended up in primary school with it. It's coming for you. And if you have older children or don't have children anymore, like that are adults, wow, that came out wrong, then you're still probably going to get all of this as well. While most of us thought Michael Bay couldn't do worse than the train wreck that was Transformers, Da Fuck Boom's YouTube views over the past year have actually exceeded that of most major franchises, including the NBA, Marvel, and Star Wars. So there is a chance it could do quite well with Gen Alpha. Lord help us.
Which goes to show how dumb Gen Alpha really is.
You sound like our parents' generation when we were young. Although I don't know what the equivalent of Skibidi Toilet is.
It would have been LOL.
Lol.
Which, in comparison, it's not that bad, is it?
All the
Hey,
MSN
boomers.
Messenger, like, speak, like,
Be right back. BRB.
ruffle, rolling
Away
on the
from
floor
keyboard.
laughing.
Wow.
Although, have you seen, like, the acronyms now are, like, 10 to 15 letters long? I look at stuff on the internet now and I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, GY.
Oh, you can't even say it. Look, you're
MF.
old too. Don't even.
AIBIKYA or something like that.
XZLBNS. You might as well just say random letters to me. It's the same thing.
There's one like that, and like if you know, you know. It's like the whole
If you know, you know.
know.
Anyway, that's something to look forward to. Sorry for some bad news for you parents. This next one, though, is hilarious. Sam, you will love this. It's from Norway. It's an old one too, but it was just too good. In 2014, a 10-year-old boy decided to drive to his grandparents' house 60 kilometres away. He woke up before 6 a.m., took his 18-month-old sister, loaded her in the car and drove off. He made it 10 kilometres before veering off the road, thankfully into snow. The parents woke up to discover their kids were gone and their car had seemingly been stolen. But wait, there's more. A snowplow driver was the one to find them, and the boy told him that he was a dwarf and had forgotten his driver's license at home to avoid getting in trouble. Thankfully, no one was injured. I'm not a kid, I'm a dwarf.
That's a clever kid. That's a cunning kid.
That's scarily clever. Like, he got the car started.
It's more just the fact that he got his 18-month-old sister in the car. I mean,
obviously so quietly, like, not to wake mum and dad.
Yeah, what the
That's terrifying. I do remember when our oldest got to the age where she could walk around the house realizing, oh my gosh, I have to keep you in. It's not just about baby proofing and keeping bad things out. It's I have to keep you in the house.
yes.
That's actually terrifying. New fear unlocked.
Why does a 10-year-old know how to drive?
He probably didn't. I feel like it's such a fluke he made it 10 kilometres.
I mean,
Could you imagine waking up and your kids? Oh my gosh, I'm starting to like get panicky for those parents, even though it was 10 years ago and everyone's fine. And
now it's time for chocolate.
okay, yes, but no. I guess Sam.
Chocolate.
Sam is hungry. He does have food on the brain in
Past
this episode.
lunchtime, I'm hungry. All right.
I have titled this segment Easter eggs because we are in the lead up to Easter. So bringing you a new segment, something we always love is looking at the shows we watched as kids and the shows our kids love. Bluey's
doing
always
all
a
the things.
hot topic. We're not doing Bluey today, although that might be a good one for future. But we are talking Easter eggs in the stuff that we used to watch. And so we're going to pick a movie or a show or something and just quickly each episode leading up to Easter do some Easter eggs for you.
And the winner is Toy Story.
Today, yes. So I figured...
Mind you, we're not even covering all of it. So before
there's
people jump
so
on and go,
many.
you missed this and you missed this, we know. There's a lot.
There are so many.
We didn't want you to sit here for an hour.
Yeah, absolute rabbit hole to go down. Whoa.
So let's go. There's a lot to go through. Let's go.
All right, well, you're first.
The gas station in Toy Story. Dinoco. Obviously, the Dinoco racing brand thing in Cars.
Yes, Lightning McQueen.
Dinoco.
Dinoco Blue. Well, one that's not, I know we love a good, and you've probably got more references to it later, I think, like a good cross movie, like Pixar movie reference. In a not so child friendly reference, people have noticed that a number of references throughout the movie are to The Shining horror movie. The carpet in Sid's room is the exact same pattern as the carpet in the hotel of The Shining, which is not just like a standard, oh, look, that could be it's a specific pattern. And the garbage truck in season 3, its number plate is RM237. Same as Room 237 from The Shining. And then the song in The Shining that plays during the memorable shot with the black and white photograph of Jack Torrance is the song that plays in the antique shop in Toy Story number 4. there are apparently a lot of Shining references all the way through each of the movies in the franchise.
I love it.
So that was obviously there for the parents.
I love it. Sid in Toy Story 3.
In Toy Story 3?
He's in Toy Story 3.
What? Where?
So the garbage truck that
Yes.
rocks up,
Yes.
grabs the rubbish.
Yes.
The rubbish man who's swinging on the back and singing to his headphones is Sid.
How do you figure that?
He's wearing a skull shirt. And like they've confirmed it since.
Ah.
Yeah.
Look,
But it's a whole
torture your
thing. Like you
toys
look
and
at
become
him.
a garbage man.
Yeah, you look at him and yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, there is a scene in one of the movies where there's a Life magazine and it shows the cover of Woody and Bullseye. The date on that magazine is the 12th of January 1957, which is the birthday of writer and director John Lasseter.
Interesting. Clever. There's another cool number one, but I feel like you're going to read it later. But I like this one. So the toolbox that sits on top of the milk crate that buzzes on in Sid's room has Binford tools on it.
Yep.
Tim Allen, who voices Buzz, had the OG story series called Home Improvement. Tool Time
His show
His
on the
show?
show.
was sponsored by Binford Tools. So that's a nice little
Very clever.
homage.
I'm very impressed by the You'd have to
clever.
really study. Well, I guess that's what Easter eggs are. Easter eggs are the things that you have to go looking
I actually
for to
didn't
find.
pick that up, but I'm actually disappointed because I love Home Improvement. I don't even know why I didn't put two and two together.
I feel
I
like
probably
it's
just
a lot of
don't
little
pay
connections.
attention to the extra things.
So something that's a really cool Easter egg in a lot of Pixar movies. So A113 is the number plate of Andy's mum's car, and the flight number announced at the airport in the movie is Lasset Air Flight A113. It's actually meant to be pronounced A113, which was a class number at the California Institute of the Arts that many of the Pixar employees attended, and it's become their inside joke to work it into almost every Pixar movie.
Very clever.
It is very clever. I actually saw even the movie Brave, which is set in a time where there's not writing. It would have been so hard to get it in there. They used Roman numerals to get it in there.
It's very clever. You'll find it in every movie.
I love that.
Genius.
So clever.
Same with the Pixar ball, like the blue one with the yellow band and the red star. That's there.
That's in every movie, I think, because that was in the very first short that Pixar ever released. That's so cool.
There's always cross references for all the movies. So there's Toy Lightning McQueen's and Monsters Inc. and all that jazz, and it's all links everywhere. It's very clever. It's how did you know you were going to write that before you wrote it?
Yeah.
Anyway, they do it.
Makes my mum brain, my brain feels like sometimes it's just full of holes, and then I see really clever stuff like that, and I'm like, wow. Anyway, don't mind me.
Can confirm it is full of holes. Anyway,
Well, we love these Easter eggs because we actually work in the creative arts. So when I saw this story that I'm about to read, my stomach dropped at the
last-
thought of,
end with a bang. Off you go.
yeah. So did you know we almost didn't get a Toy Story 2? As they were preparing to release the movie, the assistant technical director ran the wrong system command by mistake, accidentally telling it to remove every file. He had run the command at the root level of the Toy Story 2 project, and the system was recursively tracking down through the file structure and deleting its way out like a worm. I don't know much about technology, but I know that's not good. And basically, there was nothing he could do. He actually shares about how he had to watch helplessly as scene by scene the files began deleting before his eyes. Then they discovered that the backup files had failed to work for the past month. That just is
Can you imagine potentially losing 2 months' worth of editing?
there'd literally be no movie. Luckily, The supervising technical director had been working from home a lot because she had a newborn baby. So the team realized she might have a backup on her home computer. They jumped straight into her car, drove to her house, took the computer, strapped it in the car with blankets and seatbelts. 8 people met them in the Pixar parking lot with a plywood sheet ready to transport the computer back to the offices. Thankfully, she had a 2-week-old backup and the movie was saved.
It's a big computer.
I was just laughing at the thought of like, it looks like an emergency scene, like it's coming out of the car like an ambulance and they've got like the gurney there ready to take it in and it's like.
It wouldn't have been like that. It would not have been seamless. It would have been like, you get this. No, it's too heavy. Okay, you get that one. No.
True.
And it would have been, a
logistical
nightmare to get it out of a car.
I will say though, the movie was saved by a working mum. Newborn baby at home, juggling work with the baby. We only have Toy Story 2 thanks to her. So
it sounds like the males weren't checking the backups and hit the wrong button. So
oh my gosh, that just is my absolute just in work life nightmare of when I first started reading it. I was like, oh, it's fine if it deletes. You'd have a backup. No backup. Oh my gosh. Anyway,
been there, done
fun. Yeah, actually, yes.
Not to that
just not
level,
that level
of stress. But yes.
Anyway, thank you so much to everyone who actually sent us in the stories. I love having the confessional back. Having the confessional back is awesome. So make sure you send us your fails, your funny moments. Send it to us on, like, you can send us to us anywhere. We love to hear from you. We actually hear from a lot of parents about how much stories like this and having the time to laugh like this really actually help them. Just especially in the chaos, especially new parents or parents that have multiple children or just are going through a really rough time. It is great to know that you're not alone in these moments and to have a laugh. So thank you. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like this video. If you've made it this far, liking it really helps us reach more people with more laughs. And the more people we reach, the more stories we get, the funnier it gets. So make sure you share this, leave a review, rate it. Follow us on socials. I actually posted a funny video that made Sam, well, it wasn't funny, it was a beautiful video that made Sam blubber like a baby this week. So go check that out and we will see you next week.
Bye.